Saluting Veterans, a KSN News 3 special, sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.
It's something I thought I'd never get to see to achieve is the wall.
It's so hard to come and see my brothers that I lost.
But I will never forget this trip and what it's meant to me.
The honor flight, I'm so honored that they brought me here to witness this.
Good morning, I'm Gwen Bevel. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we are saluting veterans who have served throughout the decades. One group, the Kansas Honor Flight, has taken on the mission of giving thousands of veterans a chance to see the memorials to their sacrifices in our nation's capital. Photojournalist Nick Kiefer and I were able to travel with this latest trip of the Honor Flight, and we bring you the stories of the veterans who made this trip. One veteran, Fred Jefferson, served in the Korean War. Applause for and a simple wave from a Korean War veteran.
Was just hoping that people would appreciate what we were doing to help keep our country free.
Army veteran Fred Jefferson paid tribute to the greatest generation and those who fought more than 100 years before with a trip to Fort McHenry. From the Navy Memorial to Arlington National Cemetery, Jefferson and his grandson Heath saw so much.
This kind of brings back a lot of memories.
The two were on Kansas Honor Flight 88 recently, but it was a long time ago Jefferson boarded a ship with all the gear needed for war. He made friends, they played cards, and watched the waves crash by. It was a long journey to Korea.
It's about 70 years since I was over there.
Decades later, Jefferson got to see the memorial in their honor.
It just almost brought tears to my eyes. That they remembered us.
He was part of the 45th Infantry Division, and they kept him rolling.
I was an ammo truck driver, but I saw all this kind of stuff going on too.
They were near the 38th parallel.
I would haul ammo up to the front lines and to the we had 3 platoons up there.
The young soldier distinctly remembers one trip right around Christmas.
The first day that we went up on the front lines, first guy stepped on a mine and that took care of him.
Jefferson saw the true toll of war and says to try to avoid the enemy, they always made their supply runs at night.
We would kind of have to go with no lights on. Trucks had no heaters in them.
They had to get creative in trying to stay warm. It was 40 below some nights.
I took the Stars and Stripes magazine and I ripped that thing up, wadded it up and stuck it between my I had 2 pair of fatigues on and 2 pair of long underwear.
He laughs about that and says that they made some good memories back during the days these photos were snapped of a bunch of young men half a world away. He described what it was like to make this trip.
That's the best thing that I've ever had happen to me in my life.
And Jefferson says the welcome home was more than he could have ever imagined.
It was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Fit for a former soldier with salutes, handshakes, handmade signs, and lots of thank yous.
They were all clapping, saluting us, kissing, and
Jefferson says it's nice to know their sacrifices in the Korean War will not be forgotten.
We were doing something to preserve our freedom over in this country.
You may have noticed there some major changes are happening at the Korean War Memorial. A wall of remembrance is under construction and will soon honor the 36,000 who gave their lives in service during the war. The new addition is set to open next summer. Another emotional stop for the veterans, the memorial honoring those who lost their lives in Vietnam. Nearly 60,000 names are on the wall. An Independence, Kansas native had a mission on this trip to find the names of the men he served with, those who never made it home. From the World War II Memorial for the greatest generation from Kansas and beyond to the Iwo Jima Memorial, Jerry Ashenfelter's daughter captured it all on Kansas Honor Flight 88.
Yeah, we had a lot of rocket fire and just almost constant.
These photos were taken in Vietnam. Ashenfelter was at Bearcat, a hot base during the war. He was with the 110th, a reserve unit out of Emporia and his hometown of Independence.
He was in our company, and he and another one down here, They were blown up with a rocket when they was getting in a Jeep to go on patrol, and just blew them all apart.
Ashenfelter found the names of the fallen soldiers.
They were great guys, you know, and that's the way it always is, you know. The best die young.
The only reason Ashenfelter and some of the other guys were spared, they'd been on patrol the night before and were sleeping.
It was always somebody holler incoming, and you got under the bunk.
He says they spent a lot of time hunkered down.
Sometimes we'd spend nights and days in the bunkers because we was just getting hit constantly.
They were young, getting through one of the toughest times in their lives, and many of them found some of the comforts of home in the mail. That's why Honor Flight organizers asked family and friends to write to our nation's heroes for mail call. Ashenfelter answered the call to serve, and decades later was greeted by his community and family with a true welcome home. Certainly a picture-worthy moment. Oh, one of the traditions for the Honor Flight is allowing the veterans to honor the sacrifices of the unknown. Four Kansas Vietnam veterans were even part of this long-standing tradition as they placed a wreath at the tomb of the unknown. The group also looked on as the ceremonial changing of the guard took place. Some of the veterans say visiting Arlington National Cemetery touched them.
People that are buried there and served our country in various ways, and then to be there with the guys who also served our country who are still with us. That's the culmination of the trip.
To mark the 100th anniversary of the Tomb of the Unknown for the first time in nearly a century, just this week, people had the opportunity to walk on the grounds of the tomb to pay their respects and even place flowers. And you may have noticed the very Kansas touch on that wreath, a sunflower. That's thanks to some native Kansans. Retired Army Colonel Neil Johnson and his wife Norma are from Colby. When they moved to Maryland years ago, they bought a home with grapevines. They've since expanded and now have 60 vines. For years, they've trimmed those vines to supply wreaths for the Tomb of the Unknown. This year, they made sure the Honor Flight had 13 to place.
It means so much. It's such an honor to get to do it. Right. I think that's the way we view it, and it's a payback. You know, we've been very fortunate, and we think people should pay back, and this is one of the places we're paying back, and it's a good feeling.
There is a Kansas sunflower right there at the top of every wreath Norma makes, always in addition, of course, to the patriotic red, white, and blue flowers. Still to come on our special show, Saluting Veterans. We'll introduce you to some volunteers who work to make these honor flights such a success. Welcome back, everyone. The Kansas Honor Flight has made it possible for 5,000 veterans to go to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials that stand in their honor and to honor the fallen. They have set the standard across the country. So how has the Honor Flight been so successful? People from all generations coming together to give veterans this opportunity. So we wanted to introduce you to two people who helped make that happen. When it comes time to roll for the Kansas Honor Flight,
welcome in. Welcome. Double tree.
the Van Campens welcome the opportunity.
This is not just a trip. It is an experience.
And they've experienced 5 of the 10 flights this year. Mike and Connie were born to World War II veterans.
There are a few of us who wear our father's dog tags on the trip because we didn't get to take our dad on our flight.
They have had the opportunity to take many on this trip.
So we're just blessed to get to do it.
Honor Flight happens thanks to an all-volunteer force.
We can't do it without the people that have come on board, and they're amazing.
Literally thousands of people involved in making this happen across the state of Kansas.
Thanks to fundraising in every form and fashion, veterans travel free. From the folks who collect aluminum cans to the tune of thousands of pounds, to ice cream carts, to smoking barbecue and showing off cars.
It's all ages. It's great to have the youth involved.
Budding entrepreneurs launch lemonade stands, high school students line the route to welcome home heroes, and they host 4-H chili feed fundraisers year after year.
We all have our favorite stories about mail call.
And some write a simple letter.
They don't ever get to meet those vets, but they get to write a letter, and it's an educational opportunity for the teachers to say, this is what these guys did for our country.
And because of what they did while in service, the Van Campen say the veterans in the iconic T-shirts and hats are often stopped throughout the journey.
I think that's the most surprising thing to them, that they get recognized and thanked for what they've done.
So many call the honor flight a trip of a lifetime.
The experience is safe. It's safe for them to be emotional. It's safe for them to remember these things.
For many, the highlight of it all comes when they return.
And we see what it means to these guys.
So from attending one of those welcome home ceremonies to handing out information at community events, you could even take a swing at their annual golf tournament. There are many ways you can help the Kansas Honor Flight. The Van Campen say the biggest way to help is reach out to a veteran you may know and make sure they know all about the Honor Flight. For more information, you can go to KSN.com, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, as we continue to salute veterans. One who went on this trip racked up more than 8,700 flying hours, but this Air Force veteran said he had never had a flight quite like this one. Russ Adams waves an American flag with great pride.
And to the republic for which it stands.
He was just a young man when he gave his pledge to the United States Air Force.
At that time, we only had 2 squadrons of tankers at McConnell, and it kept all of us going all the time. We were not home.
That was the toughest part for Adams in all of his years of service, especially during Vietnam, where he says the real heroes were the sailors, soldiers, and Marines.
Patrick O'Brien, 15E.
Adams was on a mission on the Honor Flight.
Real good friends that I grew up from elementary school.
They were raised in Great Bend.
John A. Love, and I want to say that he and I spent a lot of time in high school detention together.
He says they were just kids when they went to war.
They got drafted right out of high school and were deceased within a year of hitting the ground over there.
That's why he had to find them here.
It means a great deal to me. We were, I'm sorry, we were very close friends.
Adams did 2 tours during Vietnam as a KC-135 boom operator.
I just feel terrible that I was able to go over there and land after every mission.
The aircraft was key in the war effort. Tankers are the gas stations of the sky.
We say we had 3 officers to drive us back and forth to work. And when we got there, we laid down and passed gas.
Adams says many of his nearly 9,000 flying hours came from the Looking Glass, a 24/7 operation.
The only time it ever landed is when the other one took off.
He says the most rewarding part of his career came later.
My job was to schedule air crews with matching sorties in all of NATO.
Adams also flew in support of Desert Storm as he served the Stars and Stripes for 22 years.
There's something I thought I'd never get to do.
The retired Master Sergeant is grateful he had the opportunity to pay tribute to those on the wall. And he still tears up when hearing the song dedicated to his childhood friends and so many others.
They gave all.
The trip was quite the birthday present for Adams. He turned 72 while we were traveling. And we will be right back as we profile the Guardians who travel along with our nation's heroes.
It's a really honor, special, and I'm proud to do it.
Guardians make this once-in-a-lifetime journey possible for many veterans. Korean War vet Virgil Shipman brought his granddaughter Audrey along. She says she watched his experience at the Korean War Memorial take his breath away. Retired Air Force veteran Dave Cattrell was paired with a fellow retiree.
Gave up so much of her time and energies and monies to be with me, to share with me my experiences, and I can't thank Diane enough for what she done for me.
Diana Flick Arnold spent 20 years in the Air Force and still has a servant's heart. She says her brother was a Guardian years ago and talked about what an experience it was. So she told her husband the opportunity to help a veteran would be the perfect gift.
I just love older vets and their service, so much different than when I was in. You know, I feel like they did so much more for our country than, you know, not being recognized for what they did.
Flick Arnold says above all, she hopes the veterans found healing along the way. And so many did, thanks to their Guardian. And for Dave Cattrell, it was the visit to the Vietnam Wall that really brought back so many memories.
It just hurts. It just hurts so much.
Dave Cattrell knows the names of those forever etched in stone heroes like Paul Vanderbroom.
It's like it tears my heart out. I lost some very good friends.
William Wright is another friend who never made it home from the war, and Cattrell says it was those trying to dodge the draft that encouraged him to step up.
Things are going on that I didn't feel like was right.
That's why at just 19,
I enlisted in the United States Air Force.
He went on to become a flight mechanic, primarily on C-130s.
It afforded me the opportunity to see so many different places, so many different people, and to understand different cultures.
Cattrell's time in the Air Force spanned 23 years, so he also served in Desert Storm working with NORAD.
I was controlling the fighters throughout you know, the war zone.
He knows after serving in 2 war zones, there are still raw emotions he needs to process.
It brought back a lot of things that I think I wanted to keep buried.
And he's not alone. The Honor Flight gives veterans a chance to travel with others who truly understand sacrifice.
Things that we don't talk about, but a look in our eye and you can share, you know.
Sharing the experiences of what they endured while also honoring those who will forever be memorialized on the wall.
It's so hard to come and see my brothers that I lost.
Decades after the young men were in a war zone, some found closure.
The Honor Flight, I'm so honored that they brought me here to witness this.
The trip also allowed Cattrell and the others to see they are appreciated. An emotional journey from his time honoring the fallen to pure joy during a surprise ceremony. The community came out big to give those who served in Vietnam the welcome home they never got decades ago. He says he will never forget this trip and hopes many others get the opportunity.
You need to see and experience this.
This was the last Honor Flight of 2021. Organizers say they are already planning to have even more trips next year starting in May. And we'll be right back. As we leave you this morning, photojournalists Nick Kiefer and Kevin Steebrel take us to the homecoming ceremony these veterans deserved.